Good morning, friends. In our previous lecture, we have discussed regarding the organs of immune system. There we studied thymus and spleen, bone marrow, which are major part, or you can say major organs of the lymphoid system. The next one we are going to discuss is mucosa associated lymphoid tissue, or it is in abbreviation it is called as MALT, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. This is also one part of the immunological system. So as you know that the mucosal lining is there on digestive tract, respiratory tract, urinary tract. So different organs they are lined by mucosa. So here the mucosal lining of these tracts contain small aggregation of lymphocyte or small collection of lymphocyte, and these are called as mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. What is mucosa associated? The mucosal lining of respiratory tract or digestive tract or urinary tract is containing small collection of lymphocyte, that is called as mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. These tissues are found also in thyroid gland as well as in breast, lung, salivary gland, eye and skin. So in different parts of our body you can observe the presence of these lymphoid tissue in breast, lung as well as thyroid gland, eye and skin. Example of these tissue can include tonsils, Peyer's patches, bronchus associated lymphoid tissue, etc. So these are the MALT or mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. What is mucosa associated? The lymphocyte collection present in mucosal lining of digestive tract, respiratory tract, urinary tract is called as mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. These are also present in salivary gland, in eye, skin, breast, lungs, and these are also present in, or example can be given like Peyer's patches or tonsils and bronchus associated lymphoid tissue. You know bronchi, these are the small alveoli-like structure present in lung. They are also lined up by small lymphocytic tissue which is known as bronchus associated lymphoid tissue. Not only this organ but also nasal passage is also lined by certain lymphoid tissue. These are also called as bronchi associated or nasal associated lymphoid tissue, which includes immune cells underlying the throat and nasal passage. Throat and nasal passage is also lined by mucosa, and this mucosa contains the immune cell. These are called as nasal associated lymphoid tissue and bronchus associated lymphoid tissue, which are structurally similar with Peyer's patches and other lymphoid tissues in the gut. So gut, respiratory tract, urinary tract, digestive tract, these are the organs which are lined by mucosa, and this mucosa is containing the small aggregation of lymphoid tissue which is called as gut associated or mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Now what is the function of these tissues which are present there in the mucosal lining? They are initiating immune response to specific antigen. See here, whenever any foreign particle try to enter in our body, whenever antigen is entering in our body, whatever response is given by the body towards the antigen, that is the immune response. So these tissues which are there in the lining, they are going to initiate the immune response towards the specific antigen. These are the sites of immunoglobulin A transport across the mucosa. We know that different immunoglobulin molecules are there. These are classified as IgG, IgA, IgM, IgD, IgE, etc. And IgA, that is the secretory and serum IgA. There are two parts of the IgA or immunoglobulin A. So out of this, the secretory IgA is there, and these tissues are the site of secretory IgA transport across the mucosa. Means there is a passage of this immunoglobulin molecule across the mucosa. Nasal and bronchial lymphoid tissue involved in handling airborne microbes. So it is observed that whatever microbes are there in which are constantly present in air current, these are also handled or trapped by lymphoid tissue present in bronchi and in nasal mucosa. It is important aspect of immunity as it functions independently. It is a major part of the immunity, it is a major aspect of immunity as it functions independently. Independently, it is going to mount an immune response whenever there is a entry of foreign particle or pathogen. The immune response is given or mounted by these tissues. Now we are studying the next point. What is the molecular mechanism of antibody production? We know that whenever there is a contact of antigen, there is a production of immunity or there is a mounting of immunity. So which immunity is there? Either CMI or AMI. Cell mediated immunity or humoral immunity or antibody mediated immunity. So what is the mechanism of this antibody production? The antigen entering into vertebrate body stimulate the immune system for production of immunoglobulins. The antigen when enters into vertebrate body, it is going to stimulate the immune system and there is a production of immunoglobulin or antibody. It is the humoral immunity. Humoral means antibody mediated immunity. The synthesized antibody fights with the pathogen to remove it from the body. Whatever immunoglobulin molecule is synthesized, whatever antibody molecule is synthesized, that is going to fight with the pathogen to remove it from the body. The molecular mechanism of antibody production takes place in following steps. So whenever the antibody production is there, that is not the single step process. It requires several steps to be complete or to produce the specific type of the antibody. So there are different stages during which there is a antibody production. The first step is that entry or contact of the antigen and its filtration in secondary lymphoid organ. Primary lymphoid organ and secondary lymphoid organ. What are the primary lymphoid organ? Thymus and bullous fabricus. What are the secondary lymphoid organ? Spleen, lymph node. These are the secondary lymphoid organ. So the first step is that contact of antigen and the filtration of the antigen in secondary lymphoid organ. Secondly, proper processing and presentation of antigen by antigen presenting cell. When the antigen comes in contact with the vertebrate body, there is a proper processing and presentation. The presentation and processing means what? The antigen should properly come in contact with the respective immunocompetent cell. And processing means the antigen should be properly recognized by the immunocompetent cell, and further later on there is a production of the antibody corresponding to that antigen or specific to that antigen. So processing and presentation of antigen by antigen presenting cell. This is the second step. Third one, activation of antigen specific CD4 cell. CD4 and CD8, T4 and T8, helper cell and suppressor cell. So after or whenever there is a processing and presentation, after that the next step follows, that is activation of T helper cell or antigen specific CD4 cell. After the activation stage and processing stage, proliferation and differentiation of T4 cell follows. CD4 cell means T4 cell. T4 cell means T helper cell, which is helping the B cell. So firstly there is the entry of antigen, then the molecular, that means the processing and presentation of the antigen by antigen presenting cell towards the immunocompetent cell, activation of T4 cell, proliferation and differentiation of T4 cell. So after proliferation and differentiation of T4 cell, the T cell get divided into T cell subsets: T effector, T suppressor, T helper, T suppressor, T regulator cell, cytotoxic T cell, like that. So after that, how the antibodies are produced actually? When the T4 cell get differentiated and proliferated, there is a triggering of antigen specific B cell by the antigen and their interaction with T helper cell. The antigen also get stimulate the B cell. So B cell get triggered by the antigen or B cell get stimulated by the antigen. Upon stimulation, there is an interaction of T helper cell and the B cell. Then the proliferation of B cell is there and their differentiation into antibody forming plasma cell or memory cell. So once the B cell gets stimulated by the antigen, the B cell undergo transformation and proliferation into plasma and memory cell. The entry of antigen and its filtration in secondary lymphoid organ. The antigen that enters into vertebrate body get filtered in secondary lymphoid organ, as I said earlier. The antigen entering in tissue get drained into lymph and get filtered also into lymph node, and then in the spleen also it get filtered. So filtration of the antigen is very important here. In case of lymph node, approximately 99% of the antigen get trapped and filtered, and these secondary lymphoid organ retain the antigen for its exposure to T cell and B cell. So after the retaining of the antigen, it get respond to T cell and B cell, and after T cell and B cell get stimulated by the antigen, either CMI is developed or AMI is developed. Means either antibody response is there or cell mediated response is there. Now the processing and presentation of the antigen. When the pathogen infects the cell or tissue, it encounters phagocytic cell. We know that there are several macrophages. These macrophages are circulating throughout the body. The macrophages are phagocytic cell. The macrophages capture the antigen and engulf the antigen or destroy the antigen. The phagocytic cell like macrophages or dendritic cell work as antigen presenting cell. Actually the function of macrophages or dendritic cell is to capture the antigen or to process the antigen. These cells process and present the antigen. Processing and presentation of antigen is required for its recognition by T cell. Why the processing is required? Why the presentation is required? It is necessary to properly recognize the antigen by T cell. Once the antigen is properly recognized by T cell, then after that recognition, the T cell get interact with the B cell, and then there is a proliferation of B cell. If there is no interaction, there is no proliferation of B cell, there is no production of plasma cell, there is no production of memory cell, there is no production of antibody. So for the production of antibody, it is necessary that prior interaction with T cell of the B cell is required. So interaction of T and B is very important. Once they get interact, then there is a production of the respective type of the antibody later on if they are converting into plasma and memory cell. So tissue dendritic cells, they are present in almost all tissues and they are most efficient in antigen processing and presentation. So antigen should be properly processed, the antigen should be properly presented, then there is a interaction of T cell and B cell, then the B cell get developed into plasma and memory cell, and then plasma cell are actually secreting antibody. There are two pathways for antigenic processing and presentation. These are known as endocytic pathway and cytosolic pathway. How the antigen is processed, how the antigen is presented properly, how there is a proper recognition. To explain all these things, there are two pathways which are postulated, and these pathways are known as endocytic pathway and cytosolic pathway. So today we will discuss only these points. In next lecture, we will study the details about the pathways endocytic and cytosolic pathway. Thank you.